Josh Duggar's sisters spoke out on Fox News last night. They say they have moved on from the incidents of molestation, but they are angry that police records about the case were released. The city's attorney's office say the Freedom of Information Act made releasing those records legal. Well, HLN legal analyst Joey Jackson joins us now from New York. Joey, good morning to you. Let's talk about those police records. They were from 2006. The sisters saying we feel re-victimized having them put this out in the media to be discussed, to have us judged. Why was it that they were released now when the incident happened when everyone was a minor?
Sure. Good morning, Lynn. Always good to be with you. The reality is this: whenever there's a Freedom of Information Law request, it has to be responded to. And so the issue is whether or not they were properly released. And so no matter when an incident occurred, if there's some interest or renewed interest in the public for it, there'll be a request made, and then the lawyers will evaluate that request, and they will see whether it's proper to release them. And so the problem then becomes, should they have been released in as much as are they juvenile records? And that's really a factual question, Lynn, as well as a legal question. And here's why. Factually speaking, were they juvenile records? The understanding is that the abuse allegedly occurred in 2002 and 2003 when the accused was a juvenile. However, the information then becomes in 2006 is the time that it was actually made into a police report when he was an adult. And so in the event that the police took the report when he was an adult, could it be construed as a juvenile record then? So that's the first factual question. And then the next issue, Lynn, becomes a legal question. If they are juvenile records, the law says that you cannot, even if someone makes a Freedom of Information Law request, release those records if A, the juvenile was arrested. Here, there was no such arrest. If B, a juvenile was detained. Here, there was no such detention. Or C, there were any juvenile proceedings, and here there were no juvenile proceedings. And so apparently they reviewed it and said, in as much as neither of those three things apply, it's proper to release it under Freedom of Information. And I think that's what happened here, Lynn.
We've heard from the sisters that they have forgiven their brother. They said that last night. If there were any other potential victims, when it comes to legal action, has the statute of limitations passed?
Well, the problem is that, yes, it has. And it depends, obviously, upon when the victims were victimized. And if there's anything that's new that we don't know about, I'm not suggesting at all that there is. There's no information to say that there is. However, if you go back to 2002, Lynn, the statute of limitations is 3 years. So that would, of course, have expired. If the incident happened in 2003, it would have expired 3 years after that. And so the problem is that the statute of limitations could be frozen, but the statute of limitations is not frozen whenever you make a report. It's incumbent upon the authorities to act upon that report within that 3-year period. If you don't, you lose the ability to act at all, and that's the problem.
Always helpful information. HLN legal analyst Joey Jackson, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You too, Len. A pleasure and a privilege.